What is going on, everybody? My name is Nick from MWK Pop, and I want to welcome you back for another episode of Extra Time. Of course, this is a series where I review the latest and greatest K-pop albums that have come out, of course, in like the last week or so. So today we've got the debut mini album from DAY6, and the album is titled The Day. And their song that they debuted with, of course, as we all know, as you have probably already listened to it, is Congratulations. The song is fantastic. It's a really good song, a fantastic debut, and I think that this group is going to be like the main, group, and that signals kind of a shift in the way that K-pop and mainstream Korean music is gonna be working. So as always, or generally when we have a decently length album that has a couple of more significant things to talk about, we're gonna give my general overview, something I didn't like, something I did like, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So we're gonna start it off with my general thoughts and opinions. So my general thoughts and opinions, and just basically this entire review more or less is going to kind of focus more on the artistry and the fact that these guys themselves, the guys you see in the music video, are the ones who wrote the songs. They at least wrote the lyrics. I can't say whether they composed the music or not. They may or may not have done it, but they certainly did perform it. And that is definitely more than 99.9% of the idol groups out there do, because idol groups are for performers and they perform. They dance and they sing, and that's it, right? These guys and a bunch of other, the other groups that are signed with FNC Entertainment, they are the artists, and they have talent as far as skills that they actively use with the music that they do besides singing and dancing, and that's fantastic. And I think that Studio J, DAY6, and G-Soul are going to be basically the beginning of a bit of a shift and a change in focus on, or back, I guess you can say, in mainstream music in Korea. And you've got JYP Entertainment who's getting into it. YG is helping Tableau and High Ground, and there may or may not be another like company or entertainment company that he's helping out. But High Ground and Studio J are basically working with YG and JYP as like their parent companies to give them the experience and the advice that they need, as far as like being experienced and a big name in the music industry, to give them a bit of a backing and a head start. But it's going to allow the artists that are assigned to those labels to be more creative and more hands-on with the with the creation of the music that they want. And I think that's fantastic, and it's going to be really a big change in the way that music is promoted, and just the way that it's promoted and performed, right? Because of course, when you've got groups who aren't focused so much, who are focused on the production of a good song, like DAY6 is, instead of the performing of a good song, like any other group is, then it's just different in general. And then you really get to see who sinks or swims based on the fact that the group themselves are good at what they do and they make good music, whereas SM Entertainment is gonna SM, YG, JYP, they're gonna beat everybody every single day because they are the biggest, the best. They have the most resources to promote and get the best songs, choreography, videographers for their music videos, everything, photographers for their photo shoots, for their albums. They can get the best of the best, while some other companies can't. So it's going to be a change, I think, in the way that things are done, and you might see the rise of some groups from companies that you never would have expected. Hopefully this is the way it goes. Who knows exactly, but JYP and YG are kind of like in the middle of being these groups being indie and self-made, or an idol group where they have the backing and the advice of a experienced company and their staff, but they're also being forced to kind of do it on their own, which was highlighted when JYP was criticized from fans for not promoting DAY6 too much before they made their debut. And JYP's response was, we want them to, you know, rise and gain popularity and become famous based off of the quality of their music, not because of their promotion. So we're focusing on them, you know, putting in the hard work, doing all of the hard work to make good music. And then if they make good music, then that will get people talking, and that is the best kind of promotion. Word of mouth promotion is the best promotion a company could ever ask for because it's free. Just like when a viral video, or, you know, when a video goes viral, that is really, really good. The company didn't have to do anything for that, right? XID benefited from word of mouth marketing. GFriend just recently right now is benefiting from some word of mouth marketing, although that might be in a negative way, although it's a positive way because K-pop fans are supporting them. So it's an interesting way to go about things, and who knows exactly what that means for K-pop. So that is just my general take on the entire album, I guess you can say, because it's a really good album, and it's of course all written by these people. And these 6 songs, I think, are going to be one of the first, you know, when people look back to, you know, where K-pop was in a few years in the future, when they look back to now, you know, they can look at this album and DAY6 as a group that started a change that is well, you know, firmly, you know, taken effect in K-pop, and that's actually pretty exciting. So even though that specifically wasn't about the album itself, it is really kind of about the group and why the album in general is good and exciting. So we have to pick something I didn't like, and what I didn't like is really not something I didn't like, because after a few times I actually ended up turning into something that I did enjoy a bit, and that is basically just song number 4, track number 4, which is in Korean, so I'm not going to say it, but track number 4 is just probably, to me, I mean, depending on your taste, after my first listen, I was like, you know, that's definitely not really the best song on the album, and I think the reason for that is mostly because the vocals sound a bit weird. The way that they flow at times sounds a bit weird, and it's kind of off-putting. But the more that I listened to it, because I think I listened to this album, I had it on repeat for probably at least 3 hours. So I've listened to this song quite a few times in that time, and it really isn't that bad. So, you know, my dislike really isn't a dislike because, you know, from the first listen, I didn't quite get it. But listening to it a couple more times and then, you know, focusing more on it and then just kind of like, you know, hearing it and how it fits together with the music and all that stuff, I enjoy it. It's pretty good. It still doesn't make track number 4 my favorite song on the album, but that is completely a different story. I do have to say though that my favorite song on the album probably does have to be, it's not Congratulations. Well, it's up between Congratulations or track number 1, which is Free Hage, I believe is what it's called. Those 2 songs are absolutely fantastic. So that's the one thing I didn't like, I guess you can say, which is not really something I didn't like because I actually don't really dislike it, but it was when I first listened to it. So there you go. That's what I don't like. Now it's time for what I did like. So what I liked, of course, as I said when we were talking about the general thing about why this album is good and exciting, is that these guys were involved in the, you know, the writing and production of the song, and that's fantastic, right? Of course, all of the members had a part in writing the songs, one of the songs on the album, and that's exciting. You don't often see that a lot, and even if you do have a K-pop idol or something like that that writes a song, it's written in conjunction with a someone who wrote the lyrics, a writer, and it's specifically not 100% their work, and they only really do one song on an album, which, you know, it's good and all that stuff, but with these guys being, you know, 100% solely, this is all of their work, all of these lyrics, or at the very least the lyrics are theirs, that is something that's pretty cool, and you don't really ever see in K-pop, even from FNC entertainment groups, which I'm pretty sure that most of those groups don't write their own lyrics and their songs, or maybe they do, but what do I know? I don't specifically know that, but that's the main thing that I love about it, is that these guys like wrote the lyrics. And then, you know, on top of that, the fact that they can play instruments and they're pretty versatile in what they can do shows, you know, the entire album and the song is just a highlight of their individual talents and how they have fit them together to form a rock group, which is really, really awesome. You know, so they're a band, which of course the only bands in K-pop you got are basically CN Blue. That's it. or N-Flying, I guess, but they're not really a band. They're more of like a new metal or new whatever, hip hop, Rage Against the Machine kind of thing is what they've got going on there. But N-Flying, CN Blue, I guess you can say FT Island as well. It could be included in there. I'm not entirely sure what you would, if you would consider them to be K-pop or not, but you know, the FNC bands are really the only ones that are, you know, that is their thing. That's what they do. That's what they've always done since they've started. And now we've got DAY6, JYP is getting in on that band action, and it's really, really awesome. And the final thing that I liked is that, you know, these guys really are, I mean, if you think about it and you look at it and you kind of analyze the makeup of the group, they really are kind of a cross between a K-pop idol group and a rock band, because, you know, you've got the rock band and the guys that are all individuals who can play, you know, like a keyboard or a guitar or drum set or whatever instruments that they play. But of course, then you got the fact that they all sing and they are all, you know, vocals, and they all have parts in singing of the songs, which is really, really awesome, you know. And of course, with the fact that they all sing, they all have, you know, what is basically the, you know, traditional and normal K-pop roles in the lyrics. And you've got a rapper, you got a vocal, you've got a sub vocal, you've got, you know, all this other stuff, another rapper, I believe. You know, you've got people who do a lot of different things in the group as far as the vocals go, and that's pretty standard for a K-pop group. So I kind of think that, you know, DAY6, again, while they're doing their own thing, they're writing their own music, I think that they're a really good combination and blend between, you know, the K-pop stuff, you know, what makes up a K-pop group and what makes up a self-made, you know, rock band, and JYP's put them together. We've gotten DAY6, we've gotten some really fantastic music, and I'm really, really excited about what these guys have got. So there you go. That's my album review. What I didn't like, what I liked, what I kind of have 1% didn't like about the album, and then why you should be excited for this album. And you'll look back at this in the future, I guarantee it, and see that this was a start of basically a new trend and a new era in K-pop. It's going to be very exciting. So there you go. That's my review. I want to know, have you listened to the album yet? Because if you haven't, you definitely should. If you have, I want to know what you thought about it and what your favorite song was. So put it down in the comment box below, and I really want to see. Also, get connected with me on social media. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and a bunch of other social networking sites that I've got. I got links to them down in the description box below. Click on them, give me a follow on every single one that you possibly can. It would be really, really appreciated. So that is going to be it for this episode. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.